Hello, my sexy true art believers. Actually, that sounds kind of weird. Anyways, oh, that's a dumb laugh. That's a dumb laugh. Anyways, I just want to say, how are you doing today? This is Pierson. I am the number one live art streamer in the world, and you're watching 500 Days of Drawing. And today is day 405. Oh my gosh. I just realized I got 95 more days. I hope I'll get this drawing done before then. I don't know if I will. The way things are going, it might not because I need like a lot more time than I'm able to allocate to do it. Anyways, we're gonna be working on this drawing. I'm gonna be doing a grid drawing. Basically, I'm gonna be working on the top half. Actually, it's the bottom half, but it's reversed. It's flipped upside down of this drawing using an airbrush, like an airbrush like drawing, airbrush type brush, I guess is what you would call it. Anyways, let's begin today's live stream. Alrighty then, let's do it to it. Let's do it to it. How about that? Whoopsie daisy. Let's get everything started. I want to make sure I have all my screens in a row here. Get that in there. Let's make sure I got my soft round edge, soft round brush, close that. Make sure I have the brightness cube so I can use it as a slider. And we're going to hit the time lapse button on my phone, and we're just going to move in to the squares that I was working on. All right, so what? Okay, so this is the area that I'm working on right now. Let's click on dress. Let's shrink my brush down like that. And let's go ahead and work on this just ever so slightly. We're just going to kind of focus on the value ranges here, kind of air slowly but surely. We're going to airbrush these tones in. Perfect, just like that. Alrighty. Well, it's been a day, that's for sure. I've been like procrastinating to doing this. Like I just didn't want to do it. Like I really did. I was just like watching stupid stuff on YouTube, and then I just like, do I want to do this? Do I really want to do it? Right? Do I really want to do it? And I decided to do it, and yeah. So it's just a slow process, and this is one of those things you're like, I just don't want to do it. I'm not like I've become not as excitable with my artwork anymore. I don't know why. I just lost the flame, man. I've lost that flame inside me, and I can't get it back because it's just like it's not. I'm doing art when I don't want to do it. Like, and I hate saying that. Like, you don't want to do art. Like, I think there's like a handful of people that love doing art all the time, and um, I guess if it was like in the morning, if it was like 8 hours, and I didn't have anything else going in my life, I would be super excited about doing art. But like these 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 live streams have worn me thin sometimes. They really have. Like it's because uh there it's never in this it's never in a time a like during a time of the day that is perfect. And not to say that there is a perfect time, but there certainly is better times. Not when I'm about to go to bed. I got like what frustrates me on these things when I do a live stream late at night. This isn't even late at night. It's like 9 o'clock. It's going to be 10 o'clock, but like for me, it's late because when you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, anytime after 8 o'clock is late. Anytime after 8 o'clock is late if you wake up at 5 o'clock. It is late. Don't You could argue against it, but it is sleep because then you're not getting 8 hours of sleep. You're not. And so like I don't get 8 hours of sleep, and sometimes it grinds thin. It really grinds you down. Like subconsciously just kind of wears you away, and you just kind of like yearn for like just the simpler days. I tell you what, man, I wish I was young, like well, I'm kind of young, but not young. But I wish I was younger. I wish I was like, I hate to say it, but like back in high school, not because of like for nostalgia purposes or be like, oh, you peaked in high school. No, I wish I was back in high school and I knew what I knew now and I had like the drive what I had that I have now. I would be on fire now, like because um I had a resource that I don't have now. Like I have a resource that we like every teenager, like the majority of like kids squander. And I think parents need to teach them that. Like you need to use your time more effectively because I think there's this like notion that uh, there's always going to be time. Like you're always going to be able to like you can always there's you still have time. Like Gary V. If you ever heard, Gary V talks about like, oh, I'm 60 and I want to start a new career. It's like you can still got time. Like no, you could literally die the next day, dude. Like like you could literally die the next day, but you tried, you still got time. Like, yeah, you got time. You can kind of jump the bandwagon and kind of subvert or supplant your whole life for like some dream. But you have time, but you don't. You know, uh, I wish I like if I invested the amount of time that I do on my art now, as if I invested the amount of time that I'm working on my art now when I was younger, I would be well a lot better, but also much better off because like like when you're younger, you have you have this access to like time that you never really thought you would not have access to. Like when you get older, time becomes harder and harder to get available for various reasons. If you're a parent, you have to take care of your kids, but also if you're working 40 hours a week, you're working 40 hours a week, you have like literally 4 hours outside of work to do things like and let's just cut that in half because you actually have to have let's just say literally you probably only have a handful of hours to do like constructive things outside of 40 hours of work because you're you just don't have like the your day is half gone, man. It's gone. Like 8 hours, 8 hours. Okay, let's just break this down, man. Like if you get 8 hours of sleep, okay, out of a 24-hour day, that leaves you with 16 hours in a day. Okay, then you work for 8 hours, that leaves you with 8 hours. Now let's subtract at least an hour commute from that, so you have 6 hours. No, 7 hours. Probably even 2 hours because you're probably might even have a longer commute than that. Maybe you have a 45-minute commute. I don't know. So let's say you have 7 hours. You have to make dinner. That's 6 hours. Maybe you have some chores you have to do 4 hours, and then you have. So you might have at most 4 hours of time to do something, but that's not true. Like there's things that occur within that time frame. You have priorities, right? You have things like you have to do, and you know, I I just wish I had invested my time more wisely when I was younger. Like, but you're young, man. You're dumb, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, when you're young, you're literally dumb. Like, not like dumb, like as in like you low IQ, but like you literally are naive. You just don't know things. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm still naive, and I'm grown up, man. Like I am very naive. Not like naive and like a young naive, but like just there's just so much that I don't know about that it's just like there's just so much I don't know about, and there's not enough time to learn it all, obviously. Uh, and I know that like a lot of us waste our time on meaningless stuff, like I people waste their time doing dumb stuff that they're not like when it's not on their deathbed, they're not gonna be like, "Oh, I wish I watched that extra episode of Seinfeld for the 50th time." It's it's just like silly things, and I wish I had invested my time a little bit more wisely. I don't know, like I drew a lot, but I didn't draw a lot. Like if that makes any sense. I would draw, but like I was like casual, like I would get angry when I drew, like sometimes because I was not that good, and I was very emotional about it. Because you're like when you're young, man, you got like ton of hormones just going through you. You're like, "Ugh, you just can't handle this. Can't handle. Why am I not good at art?" And you like flip out. You flip a table. Like, "I'm so angry. Why am I always so angry?" Because you're like just like all these hormones are just going through your veins. You don't even know how to process them. And that's why there's some truth to like you don't really. There is some truth to this saying where you literally aren't grown up until you're like 30 plus, because that's when you're like your hormones just like they're still there, but like you've they've died down, but also you've learned how to regulate them a little bit if you're lucky. A lot of people don't even learn how to regulate their hormones, or like what I'm saying, like they don't know how to manage those emotions that they should have learned younger. But like I wish I squandered so much of my time, and I mean so I on I'm gonna be honest with you, like I work at a bar, and I see people go to the bar every night, and I used to be this guy. I do it not every night, but on the weekend, I'd go to the bar and party it up. And I didn't. It never. I would never go during the week because I don't like being. Well, I didn't like the feeling of being hungover at work, so I wouldn't go during the week. But on the weekend, party on, man. So I would party, and I'd wait. I look back at that. I was like, that was a bunch of wasted time. That was a waste of my time and my resources. You know, literally my money, and also my resource that I didn't even think about, which was time. People don't think of time as a resource, and you have a finite amount of it. Might as well do things you like doing. Um, and I like drawing, and I wish be able to spend more time on it. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to that point where I can spend more time on my art. But like, if here's how I feel about art. Like, if you haven't made it selling art early on in your life, uh, it's gonna be very hard to sell art later on in your life. That's how I feel, and I think there's some truth to that to some extent. It's because it's the older you get, man, the harder it is to scrounge up more availability of time. And so like unless you have a resource that opens up your time, which is money. So I hate saying that like to sound greedy, but money allows you to open up a resource, which is more availability of your time, because you don't have to work, right? So you have if you're not having to work, you're opening up days of like lots of your time, and like you're opening up small chunks of time. And yeah, so I just wish I had invested. I was smarter with my time as a kid, younger. But you don't think about that, man. I think if anyone listens to this like years from now, I want you to know that you should, if you have any like passion, like even remote passion of something, use your time on it. Just focus all your energy on that, because um, later on in life, it's going to get ever more difficult to pursue those things that you love doing, and it hurts me, like it really does, like it really hits me hard. Uh, it like really hits me hard when I want to draw or I want to do certain things, but I can't because I have obligations and it sucks. And like it's a gift and it's also a hard like it's a hard thing, man. Like it really is tough, man, because you want to do things. And I'm not even mean like that's like selfish, like, oh, I want to get on a yacht and do things. No, I just want to do something as simple as like be able to draw for 4 hours or be able to draw for 3 hours or no, like be able to draw for an hour straight, and not draw an hour straight to the point where like it literally means I have to sacrifice an hour of my sleep or sacrifice 2 hours of my sleep to get of of drawing in. And that's what I want. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't like that. It gets to the point where you do these live streams and it's really tough, man. Having time, it's tough to um gosh, I lost my train of thought. I lost it. Just lost it. Two. But let me tell you, man, just follow your passions, man, and go at it. Don't let your parents dissuade you. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna impose their like idea on to what they think you should be doing. That they're gonna not purposely do it. They have your best. They're thinking that they have your best interest in mind, and there's some truth to that. They want you to have a good life and good experiences, and they don't want you to follow. They basically don't want you to be homeless. They don't want you to like end up going with the wrong crowd or end up doing like in jail, right? They don't want you to do that. They have your best interest in mind, so they're just trying to protect you when they tell you to do certain things. But if you have like any inkling to to any passions, go ahead and do it, man. Especially when you're young. Just like don't watch Netflix, don't watch anything, or you can listen to it, but don't do it. Don't watch it, and just invest all your free time after school. You know, like literally, just do that. You'll be much better off. You'll be happier. At least that's how I feel. I don't know. I could be wrong. I am prone to being wrong. As I said, I'm very naive. I don't have a lot of wisdom. All I know is I wish I had spent more of my asset, my time asset, more wisely when I was younger, because as I said, I did kind of squander a lot of it at the bar scene when I was younger. And so now, like, since I work at a bar, because I don't work at a bar to get booze. Don't know. I'm like the only one at that place that like doesn't drink there. All right, when I do, it's very rare. But like, I'm not going there to I'm not going there for the employee discount, if you know what I mean, right? I get it. I get in there and I do my job and I leave. I pretty much leave as fast as I can. But like, I see people at the bar and and I see them there every day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, don't you have? I know you have something that you want to do with yourself. I know you have like a goal or some sort of like dream that you want, you know, because I know it's not, I know there's got to be, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. There's got to be something more to dream up than to go to the bar every night. Or maybe that is. Maybe that those people have found their dream. Maybe their dream is to literally be able to uh 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 literally be able to go to the bar every night, drink, and not have to worry about uh their bills. And maybe that's it. Like, then Merry Christmas, man. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Like, but like I really think that maybe they have something, they're maybe they do have a passion or something they want to achieve with themselves, some goal that they've set for themselves, but they're too afraid to do it, man. They're too afraid. Like, this whole goal of doing these live streams, man, I do them because I don't want to do them. Doesn't make any sense. I do them because I don't want to do them, and that makes me very afraid. I'm afraid of failing. And these live streams are a way to kind of me circumvent that like fear. Like how do you like, oh, how can you fail? Like it's like, listen, I'm not really failing at all. Like I'm doing what I'm doing here. To some extent, I could say this. It's a success, right? I've been doing these live streams, and I like, this has been doing them. Like that's the goal. Like the goal was to do live streams of me drawing. And now whether they're successful, like what's the gauge of success? I don't know. We can start arguing like, oh, the success part is, are you getting a high viewership? Maybe that what you gauge success, or is it like uh, success is when someone really someone I say something and it really hits a chord with that person. It really resonates. I guess that could be something, right? Maybe that is uh, the goal. Like in the end, if I can touch like affect one person, that's amazing. Like because it's hard to really affect someone, to like really not influence them, but like affect them in a positive manner. That's why I like listening to Gary Vee. I like him, but I also hate him at the same time. Like it's really hard for me to listen to him talking about like talking about how talking about like money isn't everything. And I'm thinking to myself, like, money isn't everything, says the multimillionaire, like, you don't have the worries that an average person has. And, so like, I hate him. Like, I love his message. I just don't think that, it's just like a millionaire saying, money isn't everything. I get it. I understand what he's saying. I get that phrase. I get it. Like, because it doesn't buy happiness. I do know that. But dude, it certainly makes things a heck a lot easier, and you worry a lot less when you have access to available funds, money, and he has access to it. And it's like, so like, it's easy to say that. And it's always like, it's so funny to hear him say like, people have options now. People have options. Yeah, they do. But you're also nearly omitting the fact that like he's talking about like, oh, there's these kids, like there's like teenagers that are millionaires on being influencers online. Like, yeah, and not every you can't have everyone be an influencer online, because then there would be no one to watch those people. Like it just wouldn't work. So like, yes, people have options, but you also he like omits the Pareto distribution law, which is basically the 80-20 rule. Like uh you could probably only have about 20% of people being influencers, and the rest of the 80% have to be consumers. You can't have 80% influencers and have a 20% consumer rate. Like so like, it's really interesting to hear him say that. And it's great. I mean, I like the message. Don't get me wrong. I like the message, but like, I have a hard time getting on board with a multimillionaire saying like money doesn't buy happiness. Like, yeah. And I get it. Like, I heard Adam Carolla talked about this. Is, listen, money doesn't buy happiness, but it does make things a lot easier. You know, a lot easier. You know, and I get it, man. I like hearing his message. I just sometimes I'm just like, oh man, drives me bananas. Uh, you know, I sometimes feel like his message is so overly positive that like maybe there is like some underlying, like he's trying to some underlying catch there, like, that there's something he's to be had, like, and he's an entrepreneur, and so he's selling something. Everyone's selling something. I guess to an extent, I could be selling something in the end, right? I really don't feel like I am. I'm kind of doing my thing here, right? We're all selling something. That's what I also hate about like. No, no, I don't really hate him anything. I'm getting a mustache in my mouth. It's getting too long. I need to shave my mustache. Well, I don't know what I was talking about there. Went on a tirade about availability of time. It's crazy, man. I wish I had more time availability. It's it's so hard, and I totally sympathize and have a lot of empathy for a lot of people that put like 60, 70 hours, and they literally don't have any time to do anything. Like if you're working 70, 60, 70 hours just to get by, you don't have time to do your laundry, let alone clean, let alone cook a meal for yourself. To cook your meal for yourself, that takes time, man. That's hard. That is hard work, man. To to work 70 hours and then actually spend some extra time. What's it called? I don't know. Yeah, I forgot. I kind of getting like a brain fart, but like basically, when you're working that many hours, you don't have like free time. You don't have free time to kind of, in the most literal of sense, free time to just like watch a show, free time to actually do housework that needs to be done. Because you're so busy just taking like putting out fires, and you like your all your time's spent to like probably cleaning, washing your clothes so you have like clean clothes for the week. It's just really, really, like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I just wish I had spent more of my time more wisely when I was younger, and I can't get that time back, and all I can do is be more effective with my time now, which is why I'm trying my best to, not squander my hours on silly things. So like I typically don't watch a lot of shows, and lately I've been trying to, if I watch any shows, one of the things I've been doing has been oops has been what has it been? I have been like, it's been, what has it been? Oh, I would do chores, and as I'm doing chores, I'm like listening to something, like I'm watching a show that I want to like watch, right? So that's what I've been doing lately. Is if I'm interested in watching a certain like show, I will watch it as I'm doing like things that need to be done, like cleaning up and such. And that way I don't feel so guilty for watching the thing, because some like historically, I think that this was anyone, like most people that when they watch a show, they're sitting down doing nothing. Like like very few people like do. I think maybe I'm probably wrong on this. Probably a lot more people do this, but like, I think it's not as many. It's probably uh less than what I'm thinking, and probably more than, I don't know what it's probably more than I think it is, but it's probably less than the average. I don't know, but there's probably a lot of people don't stand up and do like housework when they're watching stuff. They can typically sit down and get kind of involved in that. Get involved with the show and such, or yeah. So like I don't really have that luxury. I wish I did. I really do. I think I'm probably drawing this a little quickly. That's okay. Yeah, so these are okay. Like as you can see there, I'm awful on this. Like this is off, right? I should have probably moved this. But they're close enough, I'm just looking for something that's like similar. Like this kind of looks like this, but not like it's like in the right areas, just the tone, the value is a little like high. Like they're just a little, the value of them is a little bright, you know? So because the value is a little brighter than normal, it's skewing the like the shading and such. Right. So I think that's it for the day. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna zoom out. Yeah, that is it. Zoom out. Gosh, man, it's 10 o'clock. That's why I tell you that this doing these live streams so late. When as I was saying, like 5 o'clock. If you wake up at 5 a.m., going to bed at 11 o'clock at night is torture. Sometimes it can be like the roughest thing. So like it's these live streams can be tough at times when I fail them. I miss that window. Anyways, I'm gonna zoom out here. I think I'm gotten farther. I don't know. I've gotten farther along. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Just want to say thank you so much for watching today's live art stream. Tomorrow's going to be another exciting grid drawing escapade. I'll probably get done with this line. I'm getting pretty close to being close to finish. I might have to just do this line right here, and then I'll start the next line after that. Anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for watching today's live art stream. This is Pierson. I am the #1 live art streamer in the world. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I wish you all the best. And if you are younger, don't forget to use your time more wisely, I guess. And follow your dreams and follow your passion. I guess that's like the easiest thing I could say is like literally if you really have an inkling of like something that you love doing, just do it and spend like copious amounts of it, copious amounts of your time on it. Like just become hyper focused, like just tunnel vision with it. Anyways, I gotta get going. I wish you all the best. This is Pierson. Check you later.